going on a journey. We're performing a ritual. We want to live in a big here and a long now. We want to let things take the time that they take. We're coming to understand that we can't do that on our own.
We need a woman, a man, a room. We need 16 yards of white 8mm cord, 2 pulleys, 2 carabiners, 2 harnesses, 16 yards of wire cable, 3 lamps, 3 200-watt light bulbs, 240-volt electricity, 4 more pulleys, 5 spring clips. We need 3 kilograms of unscented white talcum powder, separated into 2 containers, 2 brushes, 2 dustpans, 2 broom-like devices, 2 dusters, 6 sticks of chalk, a bottle of water, a sound system, speakers, an amp, a technical operator, music, dark clothing, bare feet, and you as witnesses.
We're almost ready to travel. We've just got a few last-minute preparations to make sure we set off on the right foot. You might think that I look too like you and not enough like others. But it's okay, I am dissimilar from everybody. You might think that I am dominant because my hand is raised. But I'm not. I'm just waiting. You might think that I'm more important because I'm on the left as you look at us. But I'm not. I'm just on the left as you look at us. And one of us has to be. So I started outside. We were both out there. It was outside on the roof, in fact, and you were up there as well. And we were obviously wondering what was going to happen. And it happened quite quickly. I felt gravity switch off, but only for me, because I started to float and you didn't. But you smiled at me, so I kind of knew that was all right. And when I kind of accepted that it was all right, I felt myself start to rise quite quickly. And it felt like falling, but falling up. And at first I just kind of looked around at the view, really, and then I looked down and I looked at you, and I could see that I was leaving a trail of light behind me that went down to the roof where you were, and I could see it went into the building. And as I got higher, I could see that trail of light came out of the building and went around the streets that are nearby. And as I got higher, I could see that trail of light went further south, down to the city I live in, and the line was really dense where it crisscrossed itself so much around there, so it glowed very strongly. And as I got higher, I could see that the trail of light actually covered the whole country pretty much, and it was more intense in certain places. And I could see that up around near the north coast of Scotland there was just a single glowing strand of it that then rejoined kind of the busier areas. And as I fell higher, I could see that trail of light went out into Europe, into the countries that I've been to. And I could kind of guess where some of the cities I've been to were from where the line concentrated. So I could see Paris and Frankfurt and Lisbon, which I could see was the furthest I've ever been from where I was born. And then because I was so high, I could see that dusk was approaching you. And I became properly aware, actually, that dusk wasn't approaching you, you were approaching dusk. So I was so far up now that I could see the earth and the sun at the same time, and I could see that the earth was turning you away from the sun and into night time. And that made me aware that even though I was lit by the sun, I was in night time because there was nothing else around me to catch the light. And by now it felt like I was falling away rather than falling up. And I fell past the moon. At first the moon was really big because I was so close to it, much bigger than the earth. And as I fell past it, there was a certain point that I was aware that I was now the furthest from the earth that any human being had ever been. And as I fell further, the moon got smaller and in proportion, and then eventually the moon disappeared. And then the earth just became a dot of light, like all the other stars I could see. And our sun got smaller and smaller, so that was just one of the many stars, but it was the biggest star. And I thought that I would be able to find it again, because it was the biggest, and that it would be all right to turn away from it and fall forward. And I was aware that I was picking up speed, but I couldn't tell how fast I was falling because I wasn't near anything. And I remembered a conversation I'd had with a man who had told me that if I was falling outside the Earth's atmosphere, I wouldn't have a terminal velocity, and my body, he said, would just keep picking up speed until relativity kicked in, and I would approach the speed of light, but never quite reach it. And I remembered then thinking at the time that I didn't fully understand. And so I fell for some time until I could see something in the distance in front of me, and I gained on it very quickly. So I realised I must have been travelling very fast. And when I caught up with it, I matched speed with it, and I recognised it. And so I knew how far I'd travelled. So I recognised it as being the Voyager 1 satellite, which I know is right at the edge of our solar system. And I kind of fell into orbit around it for a bit. And I could see the instruments on it and the communications dish and all of that sort of stuff, but what really grabbed my attention was the gold disc that's on the side of it. And I know that the gold disc is a case, and I know that it contains a record, and I know that on that record there are greetings in lots of languages and images and music from the earth. But what really caught my attention was the symbols that are on the case holding the record. And I know that those symbols are an explanation on how to use the record, but one of the symbols is a map, and it's a map of how to find the Earth, how to get back to the Earth from the Voyager satellite. And then it was like Voyager released me from its orbit, and I started falling back towards the Earth. And I was aware of the speed this time. I was falling very fast. And our sun stopped just being a star and got bigger and became the sun again, and the Earth got bigger and recognisable. And it was only when I just about got to the Earth that my fall slowed, and I was still so high that I could see all of Europe. And I felt like I could see all of the people I know and care about as I was falling. And I could see my friend Paula. She was sitting on a bench in Lisbon, and she got a notebook out, and it was on the bench next to her, and I imagined that she was thinking about me. And I could see my mum, and she was walking up the loch that her house is next to in Scotland. And I could see my friend Greg, and he was leaving the house, and he was late, as usual. And I could see my dad. And my dad was in his living room watching TV on his own. And I could see Hillary, and she looked tired. And I could see Isabel, and she was asleep. And then I realised that maybe I'd been away for a bit too long, and I looked around and I could see you, and you were smiling at me, and suddenly I was on the roof with you, and then I opened my eyes and I was in here. That's it.
Good. You might think that I'm too much like you and not enough like everyone else. But it's okay. I am dissimilar from everybody. You might think that I am more dominant because my hand is raised, but I'm not. I'm just waving. You might think that I am more important because I'm on the left as you look at us, but I'm not. I am on the left as you look at us, and one of us has to be.
sea?
Apparently, about 50 minutes.
How far are you from trees?
About 2 minutes.
How far are you from clouds?
About 5 minutes in a plane.
How far are you from watching the sun come up?
9 hours.
How far are you from your favourite place?
5. Nope. 4 hours and 5 minutes.
How far are you from a birthday party?
18 years.
How far are you from a moment of deception?
7 months and 13 days.
How far are you from conquering a fear?
3 years and 4 months.
How far are you from giving up?
Very long time.
How far are you from shared laughter?
About 3 arms length.
How far are you from holding hands and not wanting to let go?
Three years.
How far are you from watching somebody sleep?
4 days and about 5 hours.
How far are you from realising that you were an adult?
3 years.
How far are you from wanting to disappear?
About 10 years and 6 months.
How far are you from a moment of clarity?
About 5 minutes.
How far are you from your first memory?
25 years.
How far are you from serious illness?
13 years and 4 months.
How far are you from the last time that you bled?
About 6 weeks.
How far are you from a moment of pleasure?
4 days and about 5 hours.
How far are you from a moment of betrayal?
Years.
How far are you from missing a train?
30 seconds every time.
How far are you from the point in your past when you were a different person?
I can't answer that.
How far are you from the person you will be?
I can't answer that.
How far are you from the person you will grow old with?
It used to be 5 minutes, and then it was 3 hours and 45 minutes, and then it was 5 hours and 45 minutes, and now I don't know.
How far are you from me?
Spitting distance.
How far are you from a moment of stillness?
Wait 7 seconds.
Okay.
Yep.
There is a room, and there are witnesses.
There are pulleys, and there is a rope.
There is a woman. She chews her food thoroughly. She drinks slowly. She likes to laugh. She exhibits determination.
There is a man. His body aches a little every day. He is of a happy disposition. He enjoys walking. He has trouble sleeping.
The man has been on a journey.
The woman has been on a journey.
He thinks he can see a bigger here.
She thinks she can see a slightly longer now.